House Tudor, Henry VIII. His father will never make any attempt to hide his disappointment, but as a river can learn to fill new banks, a second son can learn to gorge like the first, and he does learn. He is bloody-handed, he is brutal. He plants saplings as if there's no tomorrow, and watches as the strongest sprouts roots. Edward VI. The day he is breached, they tell him it is an honour to have your head crushed against the pages of history. They tell him to feed the tree and watch crowns and chalices tumble from its boughs. Only, when he visits, it turns its branches away, father-like. There is a dog under the tree. It shivers through the day. The boys call it Arthur. They have caped it in gold. He can see it from his bedroom. It lies but will not sleep. It shivers through the gold. The final year, he cannot look at the tree anymore, at his penknife carvings, the sap-stained scribblings, of knights and dragons, of jesters and kings. Makes him wonder if it ought not to have given him a little longer, given him a little more space to become. Mary I. Rage, bright rage, infernal rage, womanly rage, guttering like candle flame, spilling like wine. All of this pain for the pink of her lips, the curve of her chest, the swell of her hips. Eventually, she visits the tree, presses its holy splinters into her holy palms, and soon the branches bow and scrape and brush against her ear and call her beautiful, call her divine, call her queen. Not a lovely daughter, not a loving mother, not a beloved wife. So perhaps she is not a sister either, not this girl who smells like bark and belief and book ash. She confesses it to the tree that final year, and just like her, it begins to burn alive. Elizabeth I. A serving boy once asks her how she is so patient, how she suffers such humiliation, and she can smell admiration on his breath, so she tells him the weight of waiting feels so much lighter than the hot touch of fathers, the cold steel of blade. When she is crowned, the tree begins to fawn, gives her brooches, adorns her silk. It calls her Virginia, Gloriana, as if her value is in her blue blood or her pleasant thighs, and not the calluses on her palms, the ridges against her skin. It is not until that final year that the tree wants her nephew, wants his unshaking hands, his open palms. It tells her this, and she laughs and she presses her thumb into its bark, and she watches her skin split open like the petals of a rose in bloom. She tells the tree, "You've had my blood now, you shall not have his."